Welcome back.
It's another week.
And another episode. And the chaos.
He'll totally lie down now.
Of the sweet goose puppy.
Today we thought we would go back to kind of a deeper chat, more of what we put out the previous few seasons, and talking about, I think, what we'll call it is becoming her.
Yeah.
But becoming kind of this like idolized version of yourself that I think we all create in our minds, and it looks so different for everyone. Like the person I idolize or want to become is different than who Denal wants to become, for example.
Yeah.
A lot of times how we think we're going to get there, or how we, all the goals we set to become her, is a lot of the times the wrong approach to it.
And so I think the whole idea of what we want to chat about today is the fact that it's so external, or like social media has convinced us that it's external, and it's like it's your makeup routine, or your expensive skincare, or your outfits, or your 5 o'clock gym routine.
We've kind of lost the plot.
We've lost the plot, and we're chasing this external validation instead of like trying to become the person that we want to be internally, if that makes sense. We keep just wanting to look a certain way from an external perspective. So,
yeah. And I think I'm actually at the moment working through a purpose devotion series, and the first thing I talk about is if we have fear of what others think, so fear of what people think, it deroots us a lot of times, because the thing is, it's a process to get where you want to be, a process to reach success. And success is such a, I don't want to say meaningless, because it's not meaningless. It's not a tangible thing always. It's a lot of time idea, and that idea can change. Your version of success can change.
Yeah.
And it's the process that truly leads you to where you need to be. And they explained it in a way of like, when you were a child and you looked at long division, for example, it looked super intimidating and difficult. We had to learn a lot of things before we got to long division, where now it's so easy to do long division, right? Yeah. And I think it's the same with like becoming her. To become that version you hope to be one day, to reach the success, to do the purpose, whatever. There's so much that must happen, but we need to take away that fear of what other people think and the external factor in it.
Yeah.
And focus on our internal work towards it.
We tend to really focus on, like, we need to achieve a certain thing before we can feel a certain way.
Yeah.
And once again, it comes from that external validation that we feel like we need. Like, let's say, once I lose weight, I'll be confident, or
I can wear that outfit.
Exactly. Or once I get the promotion, then like I can finally be proud of myself. Or once in the relationship that I want, then I'm like worthy of love for the first time, or like whatever it may be.
Can be so many examples. But
who decides that you're worthy in that identity? Like, we connect these identities to, I don't know how to explain it, but you get what I'm saying?
No, definitely. It's all, and again, like, it goes back to societal norms, societal pressures. It's like we've just decided that's how it is. Like, if you are married at a certain age in a serious relationship, then, you actually, like, you're doing great. Which, to be very honest with you, it's not the truth, because our journeys are so, so different.
Yeah.
And I use this example a lot, especially with that, because I got married really young. My sister, who's been in a relationship the same amount of years my husband and I have been, they're not married. And they shouldn't be married at like where they are in their life stage. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't take away from their relationship. It doesn't take away that they would be amazing husband and wife, and they are amazing partners to each other.
Yeah.
It's just they're in such different phases. Like, when we were getting married, we were just so in such a different phase of life that they've not reached yet, right?
Yes.
And on paper, you'd be like, they should get married at this age because it worked out for us, so it can work out for them. But if you know them, you know their lives, you know their ambitions, then you understand, like, it's just not the time yet, right?
Yeah.
I think that's sort of like when we start comparing ourselves to other people, what they've achieved, what they've done, who they are, like, it's hectic. And at the moment, we have a problem in our society because the culture of like being so skinny and so like sickly skinny almost is resurfacing on our red carpets and on movies and stuff, which is quite a problem, because then a lot of girls are saying, when I'm that skinny, people think I'm beautiful, which anyway.
But that's the thing, is we keep comparing. We have this idea of, and fair enough, we obviously look up to people, and that's the same thing as with you and your sisters. It's like we look up to people and we see where their life has taken them, right? And we're like, okay, cool, but if she achieved that thing and she was happy with it, so like surely I just need to achieve that thing and I'll be happy with it. And like, maybe my career will take off from that point, or life will just be great from that point, or once I have the relationship, then people will finally take me seriously, or whatever it may be. And it's just like, why are we not allowing ourselves to like be that lovable, worthy individual right now in the space that we're in? Because also it's, how do you expect yourself to achieve that thing if you don't trust yourself in who you are now, or if you don't like feel valuable now, or feel like confident now? You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying all this stuff just happens overnight and you just wake up one day and you're confident and
happy and
you feel secure and you feel lovable and like worthy and whatever. It doesn't happen overnight, but you have to be able to put the work in, and all these things kind of just flood towards you at the same time once that's ready, and once like, because you are more capable of receiving it at the same time, and it's just, everything just becomes easier. Am I talking shit?
No, not at all. And I also don't think we always like understand. It's easy to say, denial is the life I want.
Yeah.
And like, I think to get there, this is the steps.
Yeah.
We're like, you don't know half the shit that goes into like the work she had to put in to be where she is. Okay, for example. And I think it's so easy for us to like make conclusions.
Yeah.
And that's where that comes in. We're like, oh, if I'm like this, then I'll be fine.
I thought about it yesterday, right? And I thought about these influencers, and people obviously have these wild opinions of influencers and if they deserve what they're getting, or they deserve the lives that they have, and like the job is easy and the this and the that or whatever. And I'm say easy in air quotations because it's not. But I get where like the idea of that comes from. But once again, it's highlight reel. People are just showing the good. If you tell me that being an influencer is easy, then I can say, okay, well, I'm not an influencer, but I can say your corporate job is easy as well, because you go to work, you're told what to do, you know what to expect, and everything just works and you get paid at the end of the month. An influencer, fair enough, they have full flexibility, they own their own time, they own anything, but they also don't know when the money is coming in and how that works, and they had to work on their platform for probably years to get to the points. And so, yes, it seems easy to be an influencer, but it's the same thing. Like, anything is easy if you look at it from that perspective. But what I just realized is we look at these people and we think your life must have been really easy, or like your pretty privilege brought you to the point of where you're at now on social media or whatever it may be, or like job wise, you have a platform, so any business that you start now will be successful, right? Don't tell me that just like happens overnight. She still had to put in all the work to get to the point where she is. Exactly. And money, and she had to learn all these different skills to get to the point where she is. Like, you can't just wait. No one can just wake up. Not no one, but a lot of most people can't just wake up one day and become a social media personality out of nowhere. And yes, it happens. It's 2026. The most random people go viral, okay? But still, there's a lot of work that goes into it. And it's just, I think people just see it. And I know I'm going on a tangent now, but people see it and then they're like, this is what I want.
Yeah,
but
they're not willing to.
But they also don't see the work. That's the thing, is you don't see the work.
And I think the other point of that is like, for example, a content creator, their job is so fragile because it can literally disappear within a day. And we've seen it with a few influencers, like something happens and they get cancelled or they get a bad reputation and it literally just falls apart.
Yeah.
And that's something that, for example, a corporate job doesn't necessarily have that high risk factor, because even if you get retrenched, you get a massive retrenchment packet, you are hireable still. Yeah. Where in content creation, if you get cancelled, like the chances of you, if you get
or just let's say your account gets deleted. I'm sorry. Like, you built that for years and it's gone. Like,
so there's definitely it's hard either way. Look. Obviously, it's nice to have the ideals of like, just don't try to, be like them without knowing exactly what goes into it, or you don't have to wait for the perfect moment to start. For example, I think losing weight, being at a certain place, being in a certain relationship, whatever. So what can you start with? So what is like the important part to start with? And I think it all goes back to internal work, and we talk a lot about it on this podcast. It's like the internal work. We have to put in the silent work that no one sees necessarily on your journal, you and your mind, but truly like setting yourself goals and habits that you keep yourself accountable for. And maybe even, I think you said it, but maybe even the people you do admire, the places you want to reach, seeing what habits do they have, rather chasing those habits, changing your life through it, than actually like chasing the person or their status or whatever,
I will forever say this and I will stick by it, is you cannot achieve your dreams if you don't do the internal work first. It's so much easier to achieve your goals once, like, you know who you are and you've done the work and you've set the boundaries. Once you trust yourself, the world really becomes your oyster, and it's just, everything just works. And I don't know, your goals change at the same time, which is the fun part.
You need to get into flow.
Yeah, exactly. Those are like the invisible habits, the habits you don't show everyone, the habits that's like, that happen behind closed doors. Like showing up for yourself, setting those boundaries, sticking to what you said you were going to do.
When we put in that internal work, you need to also just know that it's okay for part of you to die, or to let go. And I think I've struggled with it over the last few years, where like you look back and there's parts of you that you are still really proud of, or things you achieved, you know, you think back and you're like, I was really proud of that. I worked really hard to get there. But that version of yourself, you can't stay it forever, and like you need to grow and develop into new spaces and new opportunities, and that version of yourself wouldn't be able to do that. Wouldn't be able to get there.
Yeah.
You know?
No, definitely. We do speak about it a lot, is the fact that like every version of you can't come with you on this journey. And there's beauty in that, but you also have to grieve that as well. And I think that's normal. Like we do feel pain, we do feel like disappointments when we have to let certain versions of ourselves go, or certain habits go, or certain people go because they're just not serving us anymore. One of the biggest examples of this, and like one of my favorite ones, is like people that buy a lot of workout gear or like activewear for like when they want to start going to the gym. And I'm like, you know what, I understand that, because you want to feel confident, you want to feel pretty, you want to like, you know, but at the same time I'm like, why are you going to exercise in pretty clothes if you don't exercise in ugly clothes?
That's a fair thing, yeah.
But at the same time, I am that person. I exercise in pretty clothes, okay? It is what it is. Dude. But you have to be able to exercise in ugly clothes first, if that makes sense. Like, you can figure it out later, but it's like buying a planner because you feel like that's the person you want to be and just not using it. And why? That's
kind of our thoughts on that, of like really, rather than just idolizing a version and trying your best to fake it, actually do the work and get there. And I think most of the time we end up on a better spot than you ever thought you could. You know, like a better version of yourself. But it does take work, and it's not always easy. And I think that's the part of like my purpose plan I'm doing. Is like a lot of the times our ideas and our dreams are all built off of like things we know, right? So I know doctors are successful. So in your mind, like that would be a very successful career. Does that make sense? Like it's all, our whole worldview is influenced and built out of like things we know and to see and we know to be true. But a lot of the times like that's actually also restricting us, because there's so much more greatness that could be, and just because it wasn't in your frame of reference, right? So if you're thinking, okay, this doctor is like the best thing ever, I should work towards that. You don't know, but maybe you will be the world's best nurse one day. And like working towards that process, your definition of success and dream is going to change. But because you walk through that process, you actually got to a place where you're really happy. You know?
I think the biggest thing is like, why do we keep comparing, like you said in the beginning, like why do we keep comparing ourselves to other people in terms of who we want to be? Or like if we look at other people that we deem as valuable or worthy or whatever, and we compare ourselves to that and then say, okay, but I don't have the things that they have, so surely I'm not those things. Wait, it was who decided that? Who made the rules on that? The whole idea behind today's episode is more just like, realize that you are enough and valuable and lovable and capable of anything, with or without the success, in air quotations, because like, you are human, and that's kind of like enough, like, but also being enough for yourself just makes everything else so much easier. So highly recommend. But hopefully we didn't ramble too much. We actually got our points across.
Hopefully.
But thank you so much for joining this week. We will see you next week.
Have the best week.
Have the best week. And
goodbye.
Love you. Bye.